thankful for this valuable informations. And now I am going ahead and inviting Mr. Asim Qayyum from Northwest Institute of Eco Environment and Resources, University of Chinese Academy of Sciences, China. And he is going to present assessment for design, discharge, and layout planning of hydropower potential of Atabad Lake, Gilgit-Baltistan, Pakistan. Uh, Asim Qayyum please, you can present now. Hello, Asim, you are available here?
Ye- Yes, yes.
Yes, you can
Hello.
present.
Okay, thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I am Asim Kumbat, PhD scholar at Northwest Institute of Eco Environment and Resources, Chinese Academy of Sciences, China. Thank you so much, Center of Excellence in Water Source Engineering, for letting me this opportunity to present this research paper in this prestigious platform. And the topic of my presentation is assessment for design, discharge, and layout planning of hydropower potential of Atabad Lake, Gilgit-Baltistan, Pakistan. And my my co-authors are Professor Dongi Shengwan, Muhammad Afzal, Frazul Haq, Abbas Pervez, and Sadaq Ali. So first of all, these are my presentation outlines, which include introduction, problem statement, objectives, literature review, methodology, and results and discussion, and lastly, conclusions and recommendations. So first of all, hydropower is clean, renewable, and reliable energy source that serves as a national and international national environmental and energy policy objective. And according to Bartley, hydropower provides one of the most environmentally clean forms of energy, and about 70% of economically feasible hydropower potential still exists to be developed in the world. And as we all know, hydropower is one of the most important renewable sources for the production of electric power due to several obvious reasons we all should know. So why we have selected this research? Because we all know Pakistan is facing serious crisis of shortfall of energy and power production of about 5,000 to 8,000 megawatt every year. So the reasons are underinvestment in the energy sector of Pakistan and partly implemented policies together with structural reforms. So the need of our country is to have cheap and sustainable resources and ways to meet our energy demands. The only best option is the hydropower. So if we talk about the background of our theme, uh, on January 4, 2010, in the remote Hunza Valley of northern Pakistan, a massive landslide occurred in the village of Atabad. The landslide dammed Hunza River and formed an extensive lake in the at the point Atabad. And in the end of May 2010, the local authorities excavated a spillway to guide the flow to import a natural dam. So Atabad the landslide dam is stable since 2010 without any external intervention and carries normal flow conditions, and the landslide dam lake transformed into a hydropower source. Hence, it is our suggestion that this natural disaster, if properly analyzed and planned, can be turned into an opportunity. So this study has been designed to explore the opportunity for the utilization of the Atabad Lake for the hydropower purposes. So obviously, these are some objectives which are related to our research, like the assessment of the discharge and drying flow duration curve to see the discharge values, and lastly, the by calculating head and discharge, we can use the layout schemes for hydropower potential of Atabad Lake. So these are the literature reviews. So due to shortage of time, I am skipping the literature review. So if I talk about my study area, Atabad Lake is situated in northern areas of Pakistan, that is Gilgit-Baltistan, and Atabad landslide dam is 30 meters deep, 675-meter long, and about 60 meters wide spillway. So if I talk about the methodology, first of all, we required the data as the head and discharge. So first of all, we have to calculate our discharge and our head for the calculation of hydropower potential. So we have the discharge data by Surface Water Hydrology Project WAPDA and the Newer Bridge on the Hamza River. And as Atabad Lake is far upstream from the Newer Bridge, so we have to exactly know the actual discharge at the point of Atabad Lake. So we use the technique watershed delineation for that purpose, and we use area ratio method, and we draw the flow duration curve, and we got the discharge at the exactly at the Atabad Lake by using flow duration curve and other by using area ratio method. And similarly, we also have to calculate head. So for that purpose, we use the elevation difference between the intake location and the turbine location, and in this way we calculated the head. And by using the typical equation for hydropower potential, we calculated hydropower potential, and we suggested some conclusions that will be discussed lastly. So if we discuss in detail, first of all, the discharge determination, as I can already explained on the slide of methodology, that the discharge was available at the Newer Bridge from the WAPDA, and we calculated our discharge by using water area ratio method. And for that purpose, we use ArcGIS, and we use the extension of ArcHydro tool in the ArcGIS to calculate, to draw the watershed delineation, and then we go obtain the watershed area. And by using that watershed area, we used the uh, already available discharge and the calculated area from watershed delineation and the total area of the Hunza River basin. We calculated exactly at the location of Atabad Lake the discharge. So we also drawn the flow duration curve, that how much the water will be available throughout the year. So we calculated the flow duration curve, and then we have also calculate the this head determination. So head is calculated by difference of elevation of the dam or the weir site and the powerhouse site. So for this purpose, we selected two layouts. So one on the left side of the spillway and one on the right side of the spillway. And then head was calculated by considering both of the layouts by taking the difference of elevation from the intake and powerhouse for the both layouts. So lastly, we use the typical equation for hydropower potential, and we calculated the hydropower potential at the Atabad Lake. So this is the typical equation that is visible on the screen, and in which the P denotes the mean annual electric power in kilowatts, and the efficiency, global efficiency we used that can be used 75% to 88%, and we use it as 81%. And the density of the water is obviously 1000 kilogram per meter cube, and the gravitational acceleration, and also the discharge that we have calculated by using watershed delineation, and the head that was calculated by the elevation difference. So if we talk about the results, these are the results. And you can see that the we have drawn the watershed delineation by using ArcGIS. And we can see that the watershed delineation, after watershed delineation, the watershed area was 8722 square kilometer. So we use this area in area ratio method and calculated the discharge. After calculation of the discharge for the more than 60 years daily discharge, we draw the flow duration curve for the Atabad lake site. And it was observed that the discharge of Hunza River at Atabad Lake extracted from the flow duration curve at Q50 is 51.89 cubics. So for the calculation of head, we have drawn the two layouts. We can see that one layout is on the left side of the bank left side on the left bank of the spillway, and one is on the right side of the spillway or on the intake. So we have used the different parameters to calculate the head, and it was observed that head on the left side, left layout was 249 meter, and head on the right layout was 231 meter. So we used the head, two heads for left side and for right side, and we use the same discharge as 51.895 cumics to calculate the hydropower potential. As it is seen that the calculation of hydropower potential was done by using the efficiency, global efficiency of 81%, and we can see that the power generation on the left by using the left layout is 102.678 megawatt, and for use by using the right side, right layout, the power generation is 95.255 megawatt. So if we talk about the conclusions, as we all know that the energy sources, the utilization of energy sources, especially renewable energy sources like the hydropower, is helping in the reduction of the dependency of Pakistan on the fossil fuels for the power generation. So hydropower is the cheap and sustainable resource of the energy. So we can see that as we already discussed in problem statement, that this is a disaster actually, but this disaster, if properly planned and executed, can be turned into an opportunity to generate hydropower potential up to 102 megawatt per year. So we can see that in this research work, Atabad Lake was taken as study area, and it was concluded that the Atabad Lake with the longitude and latitude of 74 and 36 was assessed and concluded suitable for hydropower generation with the potential of up to 100 megawatt, and uh, the other tectonic and geological surveys are not concluded in it, so they can be concluded by, if it was carried by the national, at national level, then these studies are also necessary for the execution of hydropower generation. So these are the references which are used to execute this research work. And thank you so much, and I am available for the any questions.
Thank you very much, Awesome,
Thank you
for
so
your
much, sir.
presentation.